Hello one and all, this is So Hellkite, and welcome to an impression video of what I thought of Monster Hunter World when I was at the EGX event. This was recorded by Sean of Nintendo. I'll put his link in the description below again because big props to him for me actually showing this footage to you guys. Without him, I wouldn't have got the footage in the first place, which is top notch for him. Also, I want to give big props to the Sony guys actually at the booth who were talking to the guys and hyping up the game as well. I was in the queue and I was talking to a young lady, and she hyped the game a lot more for me. So she played it, she loved it. She's been a big Monster Hunter fan since like the original series as well. And there was a gentleman as well who actually helped me as well, and he was very helpful. He actually pointed me in the right direction because as I was running off, he goes, no, turn back round. I was like, what? Because I didn't accept the quest, because you have to now accept the quest in the base camp. I'm not sure if that's going to be a new footage in when the game actually comes out, but if this thing's normal, I'll happily accept this new feature as well. Let's start from the beginning anyway. I'll be playing the video in the background as well, so you can actually see what I'm actually talking about, and I'm actually talking about it as well. Going into the camp as well, switching out your gear was very quick, very easy, and you can kind of assess the situation straight away before actually going on the hunt. It's like, okay, very typical thing, oh, I'm going to hunt this monster who's weak to this weapon, I'm going to take this mantle with this gear, oh, I'm going to dress my palico up as well in this gear as well. But I went straight for the gold ingot armor with the hammer, of course, because hammer's a godly weapon. And let's just say, right, playing the hammer in this version, oh, wow, so good. It was so much fun to play. It was very familiar with some of the same sort of moves, but yeah, it felt amazing with some of the new moves and just how it felt as well in this new sort of setting of Monster Hunter World as well. Accepting the quest as well was very quick. Walked up to the lady to accept the quest. I accepted straight away for the Anjanath, and it was great. It was just like, click, done, and then you can just go straight on to do the hunt as well. Starting with the hunt as well, it actually shows you the map as well. You actually go onto the map and it actually shows you where you need to kind of go in a way, and it's like pointing in the right direction. So the handler's like, oh yeah, you should do this, this, and this, and you need to look for tracks as well, which is, you know, what you have to do in Monster Hunter World. You guys know, pick up tracks to find the monster as well. The only thing I found really tricky though, I was an idiot. Let's just say this is a PS4 controller, yeah? The R2 button at the back here was the charge button for the hammer. So a lot of the times you've seen during the video, I whip up my hammer and charge. It's because I'm thinking that's the sprint button, but no, it's the top one. It's R1, not R2. So I kept on hitting that one, whipping out the hammer, and I was like, for God's sake, put it away. And I'll get used to it most likely in time, but I'm so used to just the one button on there. I was thinking, oh, it's the lowest button to run, but no, that's the charge button. So I felt like a massive dingus doing that all the time during the video as well, and I just shake my head like, rrr. The flies confused me at first as well, because I picked up the tracks, and the flies will go to the next patch as well, but I couldn't see them because I was like, oh, they're going over here, they're going over there. I don't know where they've gone, and well, they were right in front of me the whole time. Again, I was just being a dingus, and again, what I love about it as well, the fact is you're picking up two tracks, so you don't know what tracks you're picking up. I love that. I can imagine that sort of like high-end hunts when playing Monster Hunter World. You pick up all the tracks for one monster, but actually you should be picking up tracks for the other monster. It's like, oh, I gotta hunt myself the Baroth, and then you pick up the tracks for Diablo by accident, and then you go and just go into Diablo's nest. Like, ah, you're not the monster I want to fight. That sucks. Jesus. Then you gotta run and you run away, that sort of thing as well. But yeah, I'm not gonna stress like how much of an idiot I was, kept on charging the weapon up as well. It was really annoying. Like, oh, I'm gonna run. Pulls out the weapon, charges like, oh, for God's sake. I love the AI as well. In the video, I start fighting some Jagresses because I kind of go into their territories. Of course, they're going to defend that territory. I think I got jumped on about maybe 4 or 5 of them, and I killed a couple. And the remaining ones saw what I was like, oh, he's actually a big threat. They just ran. They said, nah, I'm done with this. I'm out of here. And they got fed up and just ran away because they didn't want to get killed as well. I was like, okay, fair enough then. I don't really blame them for running away from a hunter. Also, I love how quick, it's very similar to like 4U and that sort of thing, but it's a lot better on this one because how quick you can just go through the map just by holding the sprint button, just go over like small little bumps and little cliffs as well. And a really cool about when you go through the vines, when you pull through the vines and you pull yourself through, or you just jump underneath the vines. If there's like a little gap on the floor, you just slide underneath. It was very cool when following the flies sort of thicken, and you can follow this track to the Anjanath where I was now as well. And trying out the hammer the first time, doing the typical hold down the charge button and straight down the face with bush. It was like, ooh, that first hit, you hear that massive clunk noise, and Anjanath woke up going, come on, man, seriously, you don't wake up someone like that. So he screamed in my face. The roaring animation as well, I see your character covering his ears like that. He kind of does the same thing now, but the weapon's still out. So he kind of goes, ah, Jesus. That sort of thing. So he's getting deafened by the monster, but you can slightly move as well when you're actually deafened as well. Just slightly shuffle which was quite cool. But yeah, I love the fact that your weapon's out as well when you actually show, you know, your weapon doesn't automatically get unequipped. Then it whips out again automatically, and it shows that you're still holding the weapon. But the Anjanath is such a cool monster. When actually seeing him in game, it was hilarious because I was like, oh, let's run this way. I thought he was going to chase me, but Anjanath would just run off in his own direction. Because now, man, it's far over here. And I was like, okay. He threw down the gauntlet, and this is when I first tried out sliding down the mountainside with the hammer. And oh my god, it is. Ooh, I didn't have to push any buttons. Literally, you charge, and then you just slide down and you spin it, and then I mounted him straight away. I didn't know you can actually jump on 3 body parts as well, from the tail, the head, and the body. And you have to mash the button as well, like I said, like the typical thing to do some damage to him, and then you have to brace and hold on to it. But the monster now moves around. It's not just in one place, like flailing around the place. He moves around to try and find some environment to hit you. And now you can do a charge attack on the monster's head while you do it. So you just charge it up. Instead of the monster just falling on the floor, you go boosh, just smack him. So I got myself some new knockout damage as well. Some good KO damage on there. And the new hammer move as well, it's when you hit like A and you do that sort of like side thing, you can now do a new move. You hit from the side thing and then you can start hitting him. It's kind of like a pickaxe in a way. It's very, very light damage, but the more you do it, the faster you go. And then you can do this really cool combo at the end when you string so many monster hits together. You do this new combo like over your head and go whoosh and do tons of damage. It was really cool. I kind of overused the spinning thing a bit too much because I really like the animation of it. They still have the typical upswing with the hammer as well. And when fighting the monster as well, the music was just so cool to listen to. I was like, ooh. I didn't use the slinger much, I'm not going to lie. I didn't use the slinger really much at all because I didn't know how it really worked. I should have asked the rep there to like, yo, how does the slinger actually work? And well, I didn't. I just mainly was just beating him to death with a hammer majority of the time. But the slinger, I did use it in a second hunt, but I will get to that later as well because I did play it a second time. I mounted the Anjanath 2 times as well. So the Anjanath, I did all the charge attack as well in there as well. It was very satisfying doing all the charge attacks as well, and really, really making the Anjanath's life a misery doing the moves. The Anjanath also did actually go to a new area as well, because he wasn't having any luck fighting me in this area. So he thought, you know what, let's vacate to another area. And they have this really cool new menu system as well. Like when using the menu system, of course you have the typical hold down the R1 button, or this one would be L1, sorry, and you can flick through using X and circle to suit button. You can use your buttons now, but now there's like kind of like a quick one as well. I'm not sure what button it was, but you hold down a button, then use the right analog stick to pick it. And I think it's around about 5 to 8 items now. And when you do, it's like kind of quick casting in a way. So you hold that down, flick up, and then you use it straight away. So your traps, potions, whetstones, doesn't matter as well. You just use them straight away just by going click, click, done. No flicking through the menu. It's like, oh, where is the flash bar? Where is the antidote? You just go blip, blip, done. Very quick. Very, very useful, especially in an antidote situation where you're like, I need to pop an antidote. I'm going to die if I don't pop an antidote now. It's not behind this massive wall of items. You just go click, click, done. Very quick. The Anjanath as well, like I said, brought me to a new area. And this area, very viney looking. Like I said, you can definitely tell the area, Capcom worked really hard and sort of like the low sort of forest area to the dense sort of forest area to, you know, the main nest where it's very, very crowded, full of vines and all these overcrowding trees and leaves. It was very immersive. That's going through this area while chasing the Anjanath. And the music never stopped playing. That's what I loved about it, because there was no loading screens. Like I said, repeating myself, the importance of no loading screens, it made the game so immersive when fighting the monster because the music never stopped playing. The music was low-key when chasing the monster, but when you're fighting the monster, the music would pick up when fighting him, and he would roar all the time, and he'd get very intimidating, breathing fire. His wings would come out, his snout would shoot up, and it's just spewing fire all over the place. It was amazing. And I did use the trap as well, and the Sony guy was laughing behind me, because I put down the trap. It was like kind of a shock trap, and I put bombs around it. I was like, ah, yeah, he's going to run towards it. And he was like, he said behind me, you think the Anjanath's going to walk towards that? But the Anjanath kind of messed himself over as well. He ran into a tree. It's kind of one of the new sort of trap vine trees, where if you break the root, the vines will fall onto the monster and it casts like a mini trap. I'm not sure how he gets stay on there for long, but the fact is, it was enough time for me to actually grab him and do as much damage as I possibly could. And the vine things are really, really, really cool to use as well. I really like the vines. it was it was a really cool like trick. You can actually, you know, lure monsters to that area and actually do that as well. The fact if you haven't got traps, you have got traps around the map if you know where they're placed as well. The core importance as well, like I said, the using the whetstones. Like I said, they're an unlimited amount of whetstones now. You don't have to carry 20. You carry them on as well, and how he sharpens it as well. It's very light, but it looked very cool how he actually sharpened the weapon as well. I did glitch the game though. The Anjanath was on one side of the wall and the Jaguars was on the other side of the wall. So the Anjanath just grabbed the Jaguars and they glitched through the wall again. I was like, this isn't supposed to happen, is it? But I'm glad I got to see the choke slam at the end there. He did actually come through the wall and choke slam the game. Most likely there'll be some glitches in the game, but that's just normal. Glitches happen, but you know, if they do see this glitch, like I said, they'd probably be bugged out or something where they can't actually grab a monster through a wall, you know, that sort of thing as well. The Jaguars wasn't having any of it. The Anjanath was fighting the Anjanath as well, but I actually caused him to flip over. And when he flipped over, fire went everywhere, and he like kind of flopped on the floor. And he was like, no, I'm going to run away now. But I don't want to fight anymore. And he kind of ran back. He kind of ran up to his nest. What I found absolutely hilarious, the Anjanath was sleeping. I was like, okay, I'm going to hide a little bit. And then when the Anjanath is asleep, I'm going to charge up attack. And as I started charging up the attack, getting ready for that massive hit, the Great Jaguars appeared. Because he wasn't done yet. I was like, no, you hit me over, man. I'm coming for you. So I smacked the Jaguars. He gets caught in the net as well. And I was like, okay, let me hit the Anjanath now. And then the Anjanath got caught in the net. And then all the little Jaguars started coming up and following, you know, the Pack Master, which is the Great Jaguars. And I was like, what is even going on? I've never seen this before. I've seen like lots of videos when fighting the Anjanath right at the end. But the Jaguars was right at the end with the Anjanath inside the nest. It's like, what even is this? What even is going on here? But the final hit I do on the Anjanath was such a satisfying attack. It was kind of the spin attack, but you can do now an uppercut as you do it, and it was so satisfying getting that final kill. I was like, oh man, that was great. Also, I did play it a second time briefly as well. I did meet up with the community manager, Socks. It was an absolute pleasure meeting that guy. He was such a cool guy. He was such a gentleman, and he was massive as well, and he was so friendly. He was amazing to meet. And I did play it a second time. He goes, yo, do you want to fight the Rathalos? I was like, yeah, let's fight the Rathalos. That was a bad idea. The Rathalos completely destroyed me. I went to his nest, and he made me his piece. I wasn't having any of it. He is a completely new monster, and it's taking a while. This is the reason why he's called King of the Skies. And I actually failed because I actually ran out of time. I carted twice and I failed the hunt because I ran out of time. But what I loved about it as well, when fighting the monster, it went from, you know, day to dusk, and the immersion, all the lights coming through, you know, it was looking all orange as well towards the end of the fight, and I was like, this is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Again, I only use the slinger as well briefly. You can load ammo types into it now. You can actually load your knives in there as well. So when the Rathalos was flying, I was shooting the paralysis knives into him as he was flying. So when he fell down, he got paralyzed. So I just, you know, went ham on him. I messed up his face, knocked him out a few times, but he destroyed me. The final verdict for kind of like my impressions of Monster Hunter World and what I think about it. And if anyone is questioning about Monster Hunter World, should you get it or not, or I don't know about that, you are missing out if you don't get this game. If you are a Monster Hunter fan and you are questioning about it, you are missing out. This game was breathtaking. It sounds, me overdoing it, but it was breathtaking. It was beautiful. It was threatening while fighting the monsters. It was immersive, and it was just fun. It was so much fun to play. I'm getting withdrawal symptoms now playing the game. Nothing is good enough now. I want to play World really, really badly. I'm just there going, please, let me go play some Socks, please, messaging him. It was godly. It was so much fun to do, and I want to create as much hype for this game as possible. And if you guys are worried about it, here's my thing about it. This is Monster Hunter and more. It is whatever you love about Monster Hunter, plus so much more. It was amazing, and I cannot recommend this game. Just by playing the demo, I cannot recommend getting this game, because they're going to add so much more immersive, all these new cool monsters, and just the fun of hunting with you and your friends. I can't recommend this game anymore. I know it was only the demo, repeating myself, but you're missing out. If you're a Monster Hunter fan, repeating myself, you are missing out. Anyway, guys, that is my impression video for Monster Hunter World. If you guys did enjoy this episode, please do give it a like. It really does help out the channel to grow. And of course, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll be bringing out as much Monster Hunter content as I can, for anything from live streams to DS from previous ones, and of course Monster Hunter World in the future as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care of yourself and have an awesome day.